Hey, good morning, everybody. It's early mornings LATE, Monday morning. Did you crush the weekend? Ready to crush the new day? Well, today you could potentially see your new third stimulus package bill. The third stimulus check package bill may get introduced today to the House of Representatives. Either that or the reconciliation bill. So which one is it? And what's going on with those Republicans? And then what's going on with those progressives? A lot of changes across the board in just 48 hours that are impacting your stimulus. Go bigger, go bolder, the viewers said overnight. So what will happen today with the stimulus package bill? It will likely get called for a vote sometime the next few days in the House, and then land in the Senate by the end of the week and get voted and approved there, and to land on the President's table to be signed thereafter. But is there a twist? I go over all the details in this big early mornings recording of Early Mornings LATE. Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Early Mornings LATE, the 6 a.m. edition. How are you? Did you crush the weekend? The toast is toasting. The butter is buttering. I'm here. You're here. And I don't see the bacon. Last night, we had someone in one of the chats who his screen name was Bacon Chief. And he actually didn't bring me bacon either. So it's just like, I can't get this message clear. I'm so glad you joined me on this new morning and a new week. As stimulus is finally front and center, the stimulus bill will be called for a vote this week. The which question is which one or which ones? First, if you've not subscribed, please subscribe. This is the best darn channel out there. I stay on point, I stay on message. Recording now 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The most comprehensive channel on the subject. As we expand our programming block, I want you to expand with me. So please subscribe. The biggest growing community, now at 94 million views, trying to hit 100 million views by the end of this 9 months. Help us keep getting there. We're getting closer and closer. Also, if you're not liking this video, also consider liking this video. And if you're not a member, consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, or Calcino VIP. The link to become a member is in the description, at the top of the chat, and also in the pinned comment. Over there is an instant premiere. As an instant premiere, you can interact with your Purple Power buddies and shed your image, shed your insight, and also deliver your inspiration message and motivation Monday message to others as they start their new day. And with that, so much happening across the board. I'm so excited you're here. Let's get to the breaking news. The breaking news as you start the new morning is that Joe Biden's bill is at $1.9 trillion. There's also a reconciliation bill that is certainly not anywhere even close to $1 trillion. What does it have in there? A stimulus check, the same amount, $1,400 for individuals, $1,400 for children, double that for married couples, and $3,200 for adult dependents. What else is in the reconciliation? Nothing really else. It can't have anything else. And yet, we don't particularly know if both or the bill or just the reconciliation will be called for a vote this week. We were told by Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer that they were going to call the $1.9 trillion stimulus bill for a vote this week. Landed in the House, approved in the House, and approved in the Senate. It's been in the House. The language of the bill was finalized by subcommittee chairs last Friday. That couldn't be any clearer than Nancy made it clear. She said she wanted finalized last Friday, the subcommittees, for the language of all the provisions so she could tee it up for a vote this week. So is she teeing up a vote additionally or in the alternative for something I call Plan B? By all accounts, it looks like it's the alternative. We just got to hold her to her promises. She said it was going to be the stimulus bill called for a vote today, but over the weekend, she said that she's going to be calling a vote for the reconciliation bill. She didn't say either, and she didn't say instead of, and she didn't say or, but she just said she was. The question is whether she's doing both things together. By all accounts, she is. Why does she have to do the reconciliation bill now? Because there's a time frame of when you have to do it. You got to do it early enough. Not particularly a bad move. You do 2 tracks to cover your butt so that you go forward and you have both of them covered. But understand the reconciliation can't give you things like SSI and SSDI, $200 a month, or hazard pay, or FPUC retro, or MSCs, or rent, or utilities, or business grants, or business loans. Can't have those things in a reconciliation. Not that she doesn't want to put it in there, it just can't belong in there by the way a reconciliation bill works. I call it Plan B. But I call, the viewers call it Plan Zero. Doesn't really work, but it's a backup plan. The question is whether, however, not that the backup plan is sufficient, but whether the master plan, Plan A, is sufficient. Last night I asked viewers if you thought Plan A is sufficient and where are we going with Plan A. Well, this is what's very confusing to viewers and myself. Let me go over why the point at where we are today doesn't make sense. Joe Biden's Plan A, the $1.9 trillion bill, it was written at a time in which things were different. Joe said he wrote the bill on the notion that he's opening up this country and we're back to normal in 90 days. That's not happening anymore. Now, we know that infection rates have dropped, we know that death rates have dropped, but we also know there's a series of new elements. They include the new South African variant, which according to Joe Biden's #1 COVID lead, Dr. Michael Osterloh, for reasons we don't know, is not part of his administration, said over the weekend that the next 6 to 14 weeks will be the most deadly ever in this country during the pandemic. The fact is that the surge from the variant, the South African variant, is likely to occur with this new variant in the next 6 to 14 weeks, he said Sunday on Meet the Press, NBC's Meet the Press. And if we see that happening, which in my 45 years in the trenches tell me we will, we are going to see something like we have not seen ever in this country. Bigger stimulus? Yes, says viewers. 1.9, gonna cut it? No, says viewers. Viewers say go bigger, go bolder. And this is despite the fact that he made promises. He made promises of SSI and SSDI, $200 a month on top of existing benefits from now to December. I say not sufficient. I say not sufficient. Not only is that not in the bill, people always ask me, is it in the bill? We don't have the bill. All we have is a proposal of the bill, 30 pages, obtained exclusively, almost exclusively by this channel, a 30-page Biden summary of the bill that does not have a mention of the $200 a month for SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, and veterans benefits from now to December, and a 20% increase and a new step up. Has nothing of that in there. But I'm now saying that's not even enough unto itself. You should, at best, at worst, be paid up front. You should just pay the whole year, $2,400, give it to people right now. Because if you see a variant spreading that causes people to stay in their homes more than they had to even before, then you better be ready to compensate people. And he said that we want to make sure we get 2 doses in everyone, but I don't think right now we have that. In advance of the surge, we need to get as many as 1 doses, as many as people over 65 years of age to reduce the serious illness and deaths that are going to occur in the weeks ahead. Translation: if you are a senior, if you are a veteran, if you are someone over 65 years of age, the situation for you could be very serious in the next 6 to 14 weeks. And that's why you not only need the SS200, hashtag SS200 in the stimulus package bill, but perhaps need it paid up front. $2,400 paid up front, because the worst point of the pandemic is coming. Let's turn to the MSC, though. The MSC, not there. $1,400 is the stimulus check amount under Biden. $1,400 for an individual, double it for married couple. $1,400 for children. $3,200 for adult dependents. Now, it's certainly better than zero, but it ain't sufficient to get to September. It might be sufficient if the concept was that America's going to reopen in 90 days. Businesses will reopen. Schools will reopen in 90 days. That was the promise on day 1. It ain't happening anymore. Why? Because of the variant. 2, because there's not enough doses. 3, a political report on Friday says the Biden Biden team cannot find a missing 25 million doses. They never got to the states. They're missing 3, 4. The Biden administration has no idea how many doses there are and how many doses they need. The promise, 100 million doses to 100 million people in 100 days. Well, that promise is not going to be able to be kept because they absolutely don't even have those doses. And if you don't have those doses, you need to go bigger and bolder with stimulus. You need to have a lot of stimulus, not a drizzle of stimulus. So the question is, does the Biden camp know that or realize the situation? Well, Osterloff was not only on NBC, he's been literally everywhere. And this is how he describes the situation today. As the situation is improving across countries, across Los Angeles and New York today, he says, get ready, because the hurricane's coming, and that hurricane is the variant. You and I are sitting on this beach, this is what he said on Sunday, where it's 70 degrees, perfectly blue skies and gentle breeze, but I see that hurricane coming. It's category 5 or higher, 450 miles offshore. Telling the people to evacuate on a blue sky sea is going to be hard to tell, but I can tell you the hurricane's coming. The hurricane is the variant, and there's no stimulus out there. Now, let's make something clear. There's a concern here. The concern is that the stimulus is not big enough, and there's other concern that the stimulus is not getting to people. You know, someone in one of the comments last night to one of the videos had a great comment about second stimulus. They said, you know what, that $600 stimulus check, I never got it, and now you want me to declare it on my tax return, and I can't do that till February 12th to get the $600 stimulus check, so I get it in what? Late February, my $600 stimulus check? I was supposed to get it in December. She's absolutely correct. So the concern is not only the amount of the bill, but how soon we can get this money into people's hands. How soon can you get the doses into people's shoulders? How soon get the money in people's hands? Biden's press secretary said on Friday she's not splitting the bill. We aren't engaging a rage of voices of the democracies in action. We aren't looking to split a package in two. His communications director said the same thing. We aren't planning to split the rescue package in two. We believe the American people need all the help they need to provide it now. And they also say the needs of the American people aren't partial. We can't do this piecemeal, says Brian Deasy, head of his economic council. Well, if they aren't partial, then why did you leave SSI and SSDI viewers out? How could you promise during the campaign trail? How could you promise in the transition papers of December, just less than 30 days ago, that SSI, SSDI, Social Security, and Railroad benefits would get that $200 a month? How can you promise that FPUC was going to be retro at $600 a week and you do $400 a week going forward to September? It's like, what is September? The virus is not going to be over in September. And why is it $400 a week? How can you not deliver multiple stimulus checks as so promised? And this is the problem that people are having, which is, as Bernie Sanders says, people can talk with whoever they want to talk to, but this country faces enormous crisis. Elections have consequences. We are the majority, and we have to act. Well, we are starting to act, thank goodness. The bills are getting called for a vote. But the question is, why is it staying the same? Viewers do not believe that 1.9 cuts it. Senator Kristen Gillibrand says, I do not believe it's time for half measures. I agree, but I don't think the stimulus bill as written is a full measure. The full measure should be big hazard pay. Paid up front, SSI and SSDI, $2,400. Multiple stimulus checks. FPUC retro, $600 a week. Let's be clear about a couple things here. We don't have, when the bill was written, these extra factors now manifesting themselves were not around. But the economists had already told us that you shouldn't go small on stimulus. We already knew in fall of last year that wage replacement is at about $600 a week of FPUC. So why is Joe Biden doing $400 a week? Where are you going to get the remainder $200 to replace your lost job? It's not $600. It's not $400 a week. It's $600 a week. And then we were told, we know that wage replacement is FPUC. Well, why is there no wage replacement from July to December? Where are you supposed to get that money from? Just sort of pick it out of the sky? No wage replacement for 6 months of last year. 6 months of the pandemic, no wage replacement, no FPC retro. And then what about multiple stimulus checks? You said a check is needed until the end of the pandemic. And then there's VP Harris, who literally has become sort of the mystery child of this channel. She's the one who wrote the bill. She's the one who campaigned for president. She's the one who said $2,000 stimulus check every month until the pandemic's over. She said $1,200 doesn't cut it. She's the one who said you can't let FPC expire $600 a week. You have to have it paid every single week. And now she's president, and she gets a letter from the progressives on Friday saying, let's do a stimulus check every month. Her reaction is silence. Her reaction is not even acknowledging she ever wrote that bill last year. It's suddenly that crumbs has become the scheduling of what's coming out of the White House. And at a time in which the pandemic is getting very peculiar, very quickly, the stimulus package needs to go higher and bigger, and you need to push as well. So take this video and tag out elected officials on social media like Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Share this video. Share all the videos of this channel today and say, hey, you need to go bigger. What are you doing? The pandemic's raging. You need to go bigger. This this fake narrative we're reopening America in 90 days, not happening. Go bigger and go bolder. Hashtag FPC retro, hashtag MSC, and hashtag SS200. And on the video after this, I continue to give you the details, which are what is in that counterproposal from the Republicans and why Joe Biden made a mistake in doing a $1.9 trillion bill so small to be bipartisan when the Republicans came back with something that's very partisan, doesn't do much of anything. Stay with me for those details coming up at 6:30 on the East Coast, 3:30 Pacific time. If you've not subscribed, please subscribe. Also like this video. Stay informed, stay focused, and stay about life for more.